teachers. I'm here to present a success story. But before I will talk about the success story, let me first introduce my member of the group, which are John Kuruma, Georgie Bundu, Kato M. Kamara, James Commander, Semina Tusise, and Monet Black. We came together to make a successful story. For any successful story, there must be a successful plan. These are, you should have your lesson plan, lesson notes, the teaching materials like textbook and teaching aids. Before you come to the students, there must be an open passage. You write a topic on the blackboard and ask the pupils, what do you understand about that particular topic? The topic that we took is concerned about the ordering of whole numbers up to 10,000. That's the topic that we introduced to the pupils. We ask them, what do you understand? After that, we come to the introduction. We introduce the topic, really what do you understand about the topic? From there, we give example related to what we have discussed about the topic. From there, we give classwork, exercise to participate what we have taught as they have understand. After that, we went further, pairing the children together to discuss it together, whether they have understand, teaching them. From that, we give them what? We evaluate them from their own individual bearing. We tell them that what you have studied, let someone volunteer to come on the blackboard to share the ideas, what you have learned from their own understanding. After they have somebody have volunteered coming on the blackboard, let's go to the evaluation. The teachers will going to evaluate, as individual teachers, you're going to evaluate whether what you have taught, the students, the pupils have understand what you have taught. From that, after we have done our evaluation, we conclude that majority pupils were responding to our question. We ask them, they respond to our question. They ask question, we evaluate them. Say this question, what we have answered is good. We give them morale. We give them motivation by answering what we have taught. We give them prizes. After that, after the entire, we conclude that the end of this lesson, 95% were responding to our question positively, and the class was very successful. This is a successful lesson written by Amidu Kuruma and George Osova. The lesson on the topic titled Addition of 3-digit numbers with the naming. The lesson was for class 3 pupils and the duration was for 35 minutes. We firstly revised addition of 3-digit numbers without the naming. After that, we wrote the title on the blackboard. It states what's to be the learning outcome. That is, people will be able to sum up 3-digit numbers with renaming at the end of the lesson. We then wrote some exercises on the blackboard. We explained to pupils the meaning of renaming, which means to carry the tens to the 10th position and the hundreds to the 100th position. We asked pupils to work in pairs to add the numbers above and also to work in groups to improve on the work done by the paired groups. After that, representative of each group was asked to read their answers and the teacher writes the supply answers on the blackboard. Both pupils and teachers make necessary correction where necessary. Some exercise we are giving to the pupils, and we mark pupils' work and give reward to successful pupils and encourage the slow learners.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to talk about combine our success story to create the best type of math lesson for Sierra Leone. A successful lesson is wherein pupils or students are allowed to take active parts in the teaching and learning environments. I can still remember a lesson taught on the 7th January 2019. I was teaching mathematics to pupils on the topic fraction, changing fraction to a decimal. On that day, I wrote on the blackboard 7 over 10, and I asked the pupils to tell Which fraction is this? I allow them to think, so they will bring up good answer. After thinking for some while, they started to respond by giving out brilliant answers. They fully participated in answering questions based to them. Try to put them into groups. I try to put them into group and discuss with them about fraction. That is problem that is affecting them in doing or solving fraction problem. A story is said to be successful when it is a happy ending. For example, I decided to teach the topic half of it whole to my pupils in class 1. After the whole lesson, my pupils in class 1, after the whole lesson, the pupils can explain what a half is and can also give demonstration. Example, I can explain what a half is and can also give demonstration of the fraction using fold papers, broken chalks, etc. Seeing children doing all this exercise on their own, I felt happy and consider it as a successful lesson. The group members are Jalo, Lillian, Hawa, Chino, and Memunatu.
I'm here to present a recap on combination of our success stories to create the best type of math lesson for Sierra Leone. It is successfully prepared by members of this group. One, you have to, as a teacher, you have to engage in the proper lesson planning before you present your lesson, so that you can be able to get a successful lesson. By this I mean, if you are to use concrete materials, you have to get all the concrete materials ready. Or if you have to prepare a lesson plan, you have to try to write it the best possible way so that you can present it to the best knowledge of the children so that they can understand. To say the learning process should be child-centered. That is to say, you have to allow the child to express themselves so that they can be able to get something out of them. Not the teacher always telling them what to do. The third point is that is the use of concrete materials help the learner to be successful. How is this true? These concrete materials, by seeing them, they will always reflect their minds when they see these concrete materials anywhere, concrete material that they have used. And it will also engage them in researching in their environment. So if they have to use, if they are doing a topic like shapes, and they happen to see an empty tin, they will focus on that empty tin and try to know what kind of shape is that. So by using concrete materials, it will build up the story of mathematics in their memory always. The fifth point is the teacher should create collaborative and group learning to enhance learning opportunity. This grouping. After teaching for a while, you have to group your pupils so that they can interact with each other. They can share their ideas so that they can help boost up the weaker ones. The last point I'll talk about is relaxation and happy feeling increase learning. That is motivation. When you are motivating the children, you will help them to learn in a very relaxed manner. For example, yesterday you took us outside there to in an outdoor activity. That outdoor activity motivated me so much because I've never engaged in that while teaching mathematics. So that very aspect moved me yesterday. So I think that is all I have.
Success story. This is a story that have been developed by a group of 5 members, of which we start by defining what a success story is. From definition, we said a success story is wherein you have majority of the pupils being able to involve in the learning process. And in this one, we cited a lesson wherein the pupils find it difficult to understand the lesson itself. And the topic was number and identification of numbers, right? And they find it very much difficult to understand it. So in that light, we then have to switch over into a rhyme so that they will be able to identify and count the number in a rhyme. So we started by using 1, 2, buckle my shoe, 3, 4, shut the door, 5, 6, pick up 6, 7, 8, lay them straight, 9, 10, do it again. By so doing, we do it over and over and again, and the pupils, we are so much happy with the rhymes and the way it went. So they were able to understand the lesson by identifying the numbers in the rhyme and as well singing and dancing it. By the end of the lesson, the following day, when we recap, these pupils were able to identify the numbers and they were also able to count them in the form of rhyme. So we are able to have 100% turn out the following day. Yes.
Okay, good afternoon, gentlemen and ladies. Our own success story here, first of all, whenever you want to teach pupils, you have to make a conducive atmosphere for the pupils, not bothering the pupils too much, but you create a conducive atmosphere so that every pupil should involved in the lesson being taught. And therefore, in so doing, that will make what? A successful lesson. And 2, you allow learners to share common ideas. What the lesson is all about. You allow them to share the ideas after the teaching. And number 3, we also engage learners in mathematical activities outside the classroom. For example, what we've done yesterday, we were taken outside to do certain mathematical problems, and we all know how to count in 2s, in 3s. So in so doing, you involve all the pupils in mathematical problems so that they will not be afraid of the subject. And number 3, we choose one representative from each group. We choose one representative from each group to explain what they learned from the lesson. And how does this one come about? You can choose from this group now, you can choose anyone to come outside and explain exactly what the teacher has been is teaching. Then we talk about 5, and for you to have a successful lesson, first of all, you have to motivate the pupils. Whenever you ask questions in classroom, if the pupils got it right or the learner got it right, you have to motivate him. But how do you motivate the learner? By what? Give him a smile or give him some sort of token. Or those that are not able to have what you give them, you don't have to silence them, but you also motivate them. And number 5, finally, if 90% of pupils in your class did well in the lesson being taught, then you have a successful lesson at the end of the class.
Good afternoon, everyone. Our own success story is like this. But before I go further, I would like to define what a success story is. A success story is any story or a math story or a math topic that one has taught and came up with good results. That is by the participation of the kids, of the children. Here, which include the following. 1. You engage the children in the classroom. That is, try to gauge their attention, because by so doing, you find out that the children will listen to you. Next step, you introduce the topic that you're about to teach. After introducing the topic, then what? You move on by allowing, you ask them questions. You allow them to think about the topic on their own. Just leave them. Have you ever seen this topic? Or what do you understand about this topic? Just allow them to think for a few minutes on their own. Then you allow them again to share ideas among themselves. After thinking about the topic, you allow them to share ideas among themselves, either by pairing or by grouping them, either 5 or 6, so that they share ideas among themselves. After that, then you give them independent practice. That is, you leave them to do work on their own, each and individual, to see whether they have understood your work. Thereafter, you work on the board and see how far. Then you also evaluate them by giving them assignments. That is, they go home and try to see how best they come with it, then you mark it together, and then you see what will happen. Then by the participation or the marking that you have done the next day, you find out that what? If 90% of the children did the exercise well, then you find out that this is a successful story. And if you find out that below 50%, then you have to repeat the topic and you make sure the passes will be above 90 or 100%. So far so good. I think that's what our success story will be like.
We discussed about successful story. A lesson well taught and understood by the pupils. We are going to look at 5 key points. Number 1 is the opening. That means when you enter into the class as a teacher, you first of all to greet the class, to draw the attention of the pupils to you. That means to make them focus to what we are about to discuss. Number 2, you make an introduction of the topic. That means you give an activities or idea for the pupils to take in the information. Number 3 point is you give them the guidance practice. That is, you give them exercise from the simple one to the hard one. Like for example, if you want to teach them addition, you start from example, you can say 1 + 1 equals to 2, give them the answer. Then 2 + 2, 5, up to you go to 10 + 10 + 10, you add it, come up to 30. Then number 4 point, that is the independent practice, is to ensure that all the pupils can demonstrate the skills or the knowledge independently, they do it on their own. Then the 5th point is that the closing, that is that to ask question or you give them assignment on the topics. At the end of the lesson was successful because it was specific. It mentioned, do some mention, and the lesson was achievable. That is, you teach a relevant topic and with a time bound. You give them time. You don't just leave them alone. That is, when the time is not limited for them to do the work. Sometimes some of the children they feel bored. Some of them they start to sleep. So you have to do it on a specific time. That I put it shortly, smart. And at the end of the lesson, the learning outcome was good because the pupils can able to what? To add numbers on their own. This is what we try shortly on our own group. And this is our group name. Number 1 is Benson, Mona Benson Karim. Then we have Harriet Lucy Wakari, Pastor Peter Kuma, Gail Suleiman M. Kuma, and Khadija S. Karim, and Kuma N. Kamara.